Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Eric Bird, here at StopStrugglingNow.com. And today we're going to talk about part two, ladies and gentlemen. Part two of three for the Miracle Cash and More conversation with the owner, Hakan, giving us, guess what? Two new extra streams of revenue that Miracle Cash and More has created, which means the value of the company will be rising. And they talk about this in this video. And so I'm excited, ladies and gentlemen. You could be a part of this. And welcome. Stop Struggling Now gear. Check. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. Now, let's get to it. All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you so much for being here. Please share the videos because you never know who's looking for passive income. That's right, this is about an NFT, ladies and gentlemen, an NFT that you can buy, and that NFT is backed by Miracle Cash and More. This again is part two of three. If you haven't seen part one, I'll have it down below in the description where you can see part one, and then you can check out part two. And after this, come back. The description down below will have part three as well, but that'll be on April 6th. So if you see it before April 6th, then you'll know why you don't see part three down below in the description. Now, let's get into a brief overview because you should have checked part one. But again, this is an NFT backed by a licensed and regulated company. They're trying to make an exit strategy within 4 to 5 years. That means they're building up the value of the company. And again, you're going to have to stay tuned because they've added several new streams of income for Miracle Cash and More Company. And again, the Boogie Gopher Club Cash Flow NFT is actually backed by this company. You receive commissions, and they go over commissions as well. And they talk about the many partnerships in this part two. So without further ado, let's get into it, shall we? Here goes the video.
And then we created Phoenix. And then we're going into maybe what the business was. Okay.
So at that point, you know, we've designed, you know, we've now got a token, stable token. Mm-hmm. We've got a stable token business backed by a business plan wrapped around gas price, okay, and also the fact that you're creating a 100% USD backed token, you're becoming
first ever.
Yeah, you're becoming a reason for people, because people park. Yes, they use USDT for international money transfer and all of this, but they also, when they're trading and they want to be, they park secure to a secure environment when they're waiting, they tend to go back to USDT and sit and wait until they're going to trade again, right?
Yeah.
So you've become now, you're offering to be that secure area.
Yeah.
And holding cash, because yes, you're not touching this cash, but this cash is actually a revenue generator. So you've got gas price as a revenue, and you've got the holding cash as revenue.
For the bank or for us?
For us.
Really?
Because the bank is holding on to that cash and you're receiving an APR on the holding
you
cash.
Negotiate an APR on that cash.
So
that's cool.
So the fact that
now USDT, I looked, is $80 billion right now. 80 billion. So if Bison Bank gets to hold on to 80 billion, it'll make them somewhat happy, right? Or if it's bigger than that.
And the interest on 80 billion is
It's a substantial amount.
Yeah. Okay. Now, with all this, now we get to.
And just so they know, so every time then Miracle moves, Phoenix, they have to buy Phoenix, and when they're buying Phoenix, that's revenue for us. That's how the revenue works on that side of it.
Yes. Another thing there.
Yeah.
So you've built that, right? But now, what have we done? Does it stop? It goes back to the example I gave. So what we've done now with Phoenix and Miracle is it was an Ethereum protocol token, right? But in today's world, you can't build. You can have the most best structured token, but just have it on one protocol. It's not going to work, right? So you go back to technology again. So now we've got, a couple of weeks. It's been in the IT development team, but we're turning Phoenix and the token into Ethereum, TRC, Solano, Matic,
Right.
and building the bridge. So not only having the best structure, but having the best cover that allows the token to
Move on different chains.
move on different chains. So that's what we're doing at the moment. Now,
So now all that comes together,
and there's
and there's
hundreds.
certain
But-
whatever
but
timeline.
We're
but
talking about,
these are
but one thing that we need to really understand as well is when we say we talk about one product, we really need to understand that that product underneath it, for it to be complete, the legal, the compliance, the technology, the business development, the third party agreements, the insurances. Just imagine that every single one that we've built is a company itself.
Yeah.
And how long does it take a company to turn into
Right.
positive, right? We just maybe took too much on, but it will.
Once it releases and start going, it goes and it gets absolutely off the chain.
There is, so what we did at year 5, was it? 6? Again, we're the first to turn this whole model into a master franchise model.
Right.
We're the first to turn that master franchise model into an NFT model. Whoever we talk, well, they're like, NFT backed, doesn't exist. Even building that took legal, technological. That itself is a separate
Yeah.
business, right?
We're talking about cash flow, NFT,
It's a business.
and all that. Yeah, it's a company business, yes.
Now,
So there was a certain point where you moved to open in another country, which was in Netherlands.
yeah,
So that happened in 2022. Yeah, that happened around the time.
yeah.
No, that was 2022. Yeah. So early 2022, opened the first store there, and that's when that sort of international expansion started with banking relationships and licenses and all of that. So the first license you achieved was Netherlands,
Correct.
right?
Yes. And, going back to what I was just saying, yeah. And then we started through Germany and building the NFT model. That, I think everybody knows that. But we then, something that, maybe you've thought of as well is, we've acquired a company in Spain. We're in the process of acquiring a Canadian company at the moment, which is a real giant company. I mean, the company's got to a stage that it's not only building, but it's acquiring. We actually took, and this is very exciting for me. We actually bought a company for tax reasons, right? An e-commerce app that we're going to talk about how we bring this into the NFT world as well. But it talks about something good about the management. A bankrupt company. It's bankrupt.
Yeah, so it's a website that sells
And
stuff.
it was bankrupt. We took the company for virtually nothing, and the company's in profit, right? So, but the thing is, we've just in the process of acquiring some more technology to wrap around. That's the bit from, you know, in today's speech we've been talking about what we've built allows us to wrap around, right? People come up with, I don't know, nodes. To give nodes live, you know, to give them the live connection, we have it.
Right.
It takes us seconds to give live to a technology, where that is actually a 2-year project. This,
Right.
you can design it maybe in 2 months, the look, but to make it alive, it's going to need 2 years. For us, it's just like, I don't know, 3 days, 4 days, maximum a week to give live to it. We're going into a mega business tokenization, right?
Which I'll be sharing now is estimated value of that industry is $867 trillion.
We can give it life. That's what we've been building for all these years. This is
So what we have.
So it's not only the NFT. It's not only the country that NFT belongs to. The actual multiplier, multiplier of their NFT or their country or Miracle as a business is based on 2-3 things, right? Obviously, it's the P&L of the company. It's the technology, because if you've got a technology that shows potential expansion, right? Your multiplier, your exit multiplier will go from 10 to 15, right? If you show unique data, your multiplier from 15 will go to 25. We generate every single one. We have a forecasted P&L, and that's been measured into a DCF value. We're the first company in the world to create a DCF to an NFT, and an NFT to be a potential collateral for loan. People don't even dream about this. Never mind doing it, they don't dream about it. Because the reason they don't dream about it is because they don't have the knowledge to dream about it. You know, how many people are in the crypto world building technology, but also understand insurance, also understand finance?
You could never do this DCF without this unique code infrastructure. It would never happen.
It would never happen.
Okay, you go.
But what I'm saying is, as a management, building all this is one thing, okay? But how we use those tools and turn it into a DCF, how do we turn this into a financial product? How do we get Ernst Young to validate it, bring a bank, use this as a collateral, back it by an insurance? To even forget designing it. Thinking of designing it takes a lot of experience and know-how. People out there, you know, you don't generally find teams that know these instruments and how they're used. That's what I'm trying to say. So, P&L, yes. DCF. Technology, yes. It can expand. I said tokenization. Tomorrow it's, I don't know, X, connected, bolted, Y, bolted. It works. Unique data. Miracle with installment is, you can't find a better product to generate unique data and customer experience. Now, maybe we're going to connect the Decoupage in, and we're going to bring in another
merchant company.
And we're going to maybe connect other customer behavior data into our database, right? So, into this database here. So we've got financial data, financial behavior data. We've got customer purchase, acquiring data, and their normal buy and sell data. All this unique data, okay? Banks are paying thousands of dollars to obtain a good customer. Thousands, $2,000, $3,000, right, for a good customer. This is the key. Everything that we've built, all this P&L, all the technology, all the 80 billion USDT, everything that we've talked about, it all boils down to the actual core value, customer base, and the understanding of what you've built. And that's here. This is what we're building in the future. This is our key to exit. All this is what we will make on the way. The quarterly payments that people will receive and we will receive is on the way. But this is the jackpot. It's here. So
now describe to me just a little bit, because here we've had because the way we launched cash flow, we did use obviously other people's software because we needed to launch it fast, and then we've had growing pains with things that are not perfect. Some things.
At the start, we used other people's technology.
At the start, yeah. Now
and then we said we did 2-3 phases. So phase 1, yeah, we used complete white label.
Right.
Then on phase 2, we went into, we dropped the.
Right.
We dropped the white label. We dropped it, right?
Right.
So now we're using our own software.
Right.
But then it divides into 2. Cashflow NFT and the Boogie G platform.
Right.
So the Cashflow NFT, okay, is for sales. It's for the affiliates.
But I'd like to say that Cashflow NFT has been living in beta, right?
Correct.
Been living in beta, because what I notice is that our customers, when we have the problems that we have because we launched literally into beta, that those problems, then they're thinking, well, if they can't do this, how can they do all this, right? So that they're putting those issues over onto Miracle, because they're saying that this is a reflection of this. So they're worried about that there's an imperfection here. Can you describe the difference between these two worlds so they can understand?
So this is built in 6-7 years, right?
Right.
This, we jumped from white label into own. It's been one of the fastest. There hasn't even been a proper test.
Right.
The test of Cashflow NFT has been as using it.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Even so, to be able to build, even in the better time,
Right.
okay, from where we started here to here, there's a big difference.
Right.
Is it enough? No, it's not enough.
Right.
But there is a huge difference. If you look back to the date we dropped the white label to the date here, there is significant improvement on the site.
Massive
right?
development. Also, just so that I can say, because this is obviously like problems, right? You're living through problems as a
You're working through problems.
Yeah, you're kind of an early investor.
Yeah.
And in that environment, it's tougher, but the multiplier is much higher, right? Because like when you were sharing with me, and you told me that Germany license was $1 million, I knew I was getting something that was much more valuable. And I knew it was an opportunity, but I also understood why you were doing it at that price, because it was an early, showing up early. Someone coming 4 years from now will not have the upside that we have, because the math on the Germany NFT is basically $1,500, and we could probably get a valuation of that, could be into the 7 figures, right? Into 6 figures at least. Into could be into the 6 figures.
60 to 80,000, easy.
The pain of beta is why they're getting the upside.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
So the less pain, the less upside, the less profit they will make. So the people that come after are existing affiliates.
It's any business. So what's happening here, okay, what's happening here is this is the area of sales, commission,
Yeah.
there's tracking.
Some
So this, okay, the way I see it, with everything that's going on, it's going to need another 30 days, and it will go out, it will leave better. It will turn into the end product. Here is where, you know, you see your assets, you see your points, you see your dividends, all of that, right? All of that. The back end is complete, right?
Right. Back end is what's happening when you press a button on that site, what's happening behind that. The front end is what you see.
The front end consists of, so front is, it's not only what you see, it's the creative side, which means what you see, it's the UI, and it's the UX. So this is coding.
So UI is
this is coding,
user
by the way.
interface, UX is
User experience.
user experience, user interface. Okay.
Okay? So this is coding. This is what we're doing for 30 days.
And this is, so all these payments that have been going through Cashflow NFT has been mostly a lot of just manual, you know, a lot of manual activity on
Nearly
on
all of
commissions. Yeah. And some things that have affected commissions, for instance, is because we haven't, you know, we're forming our holding company in Portugal. The holding company is fully in line with what we're doing. The banking relationships that we've had to accomplish the sales here have been through banking that have not fully been aligned with what we're doing yet,
Correct.
right?
Yes.
So that causes problems. So this is not just technology, it's also because we're operating in the fiat world here as well. And that's caused us problems. So these are all part of this beta issue, right?
Put
so
it this way.
Boogie G we've been building this engine, and the person we brought in to do this looked at Boogie G's engine, this stuff, and was absolutely blown away at what we had built.
He couldn't believe
He had
it.
never seen it before because he's always been operating in this whole MLM and fiat, you know, affiliate side, and usually they don't have this
They
sophistication.
just build this. Where we've built, they built this, and then they try to build this.
Right.
We've built the engine, we're just
Right.
finishing the makeup,
Right.
right? The makeup. Now, but just as an example to what you said, you know, how you experiencing problems here, and how did you build this? Well, this, forget that. How long would it normally take a technology company to build this and this? Forget miracle.
I mean,
I'll tell you. To build what everybody will see in 30 days, but for me, it's really what I know that's there. But people don't understand, and no disrespect, right, to anybody. It's about understanding technology.
Right.
I understand how effective it is, but the reality is this big, right? That's what takes time. To build these two for any technology company, right? Any technology company, and have it fully tested, it's a year.
right.
At least a year, right?
I think so if
And bear in mind, there is nothing here that connects to any miracle technology.
right.
It's two different.
So when you, I think people now understand obviously this world. Now, if they were connected to what this is as affiliates and referring friends, family to say, hey, it's safe for you to come in and say, get a piece of this world. We've been unable to truly show that because we've been living here and we've been living also in a subpar visual experience. So what we are hasn't matched with what we've been showing. And so we're getting to that place now where all of this is coming together.
And bear in mind, we experienced the same issue on the UI, UX, and creative side, even on Miracle. What we've got versus the makeup is not aligned.
Right.
So once this is complete, we're changing the global look
Right.
on this side as well,
Right.
because we've got it all now.
Right.
It just needs the makeup. Yeah.
So also, so we say like,
And when I say we've got it all, I don't only mean by technologically. We have it all technologically and legally. That's the important bit.
licenses and everything,
Yeah.
right? So May 15th, 2022, we started, Spain, which is really the first official tokenized country,
Yeah.
right? So we said, based on what I was seeing, what was happening with Germany, I said, okay, it looks like we're going to be able to open inside of this certain window. So, opening Spain, there's some things that have to be in place for that to open. And so, because an affiliate always needs to know, okay, if I do this now, if I come in and invest into this project now, when will I be able to start getting paid? We have to give a timeline, not just for that, we have to give a timeline for us as a target and a goal to be
Yeah.
able to accomplish that. But can you predict everything that's going to happen to where you can actually set that and say, this is for sure going to happen? You can't. You can't. You can only have a timeline of...
There's other things that you can't predict as well, right? You have a forecast.
Right.
But in that 9 month, yes, I understand why you're asking the question about delays, but could you predict that we were going to add tokenization, nodes? Could we predict, because that's not the business model we put in our forecast.
Right.
Our forecasts, okay, that we calculated what Spain would be, what UK
Yeah,
would be,
yeah.
had a 5-year budget, right? And this 5-year budget, there were variables, right? So it's variables. So what do they buy and sell?
Right.
Miracle with
You're saying
installment.
like projection, 5-year
Yes.
projection?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is, I'm trying.
Yeah.
So I don't know, miracle deal.
Right.
This is how we built the projections, right?
Right.
Now, yes, there's been some delays on one side because of this, because of this, and maybe because of we've took on other opportunities, right? But the fact that we've took on those other opportunities has made something, maybe some a delay on this end, but it's made another change on this end.
Right.
So now the budget is revised because there's going to be tokenization here, because there's going to be nodes here,
Yeah.
right?
So there's
at
more
at
product.
there's more revenue going back into the budget, which has a direct effect on the exit value, which has a direct effect
Right.
on the value of the NFT itself.
Right.
So, do we sometimes lose some time on one
Yeah.
side and we sacrifice, but we actually bring on other value into the business? The dynamics can
And that's
change.
the thing too,
And
is
because if you
is-
don't make that decision at that time,
Right.
you don't get it. It's a deal that comes in front of you.
Right.
You close it, or you don't close it.
Right. And I think what we're trying to do is because in the industry that unfortunately we're tied to, there's so much dishonesty there. So when something changes with us, they go directly to that. Like, oh, this didn't happen, so there has to be something that reminds them of something else that's happened in that industry. So we're saying, look, this has never happened in this industry. This type of value has never been brought to this industry, because where do they go? They go to angel investors, they go to venture capital, they go and get $100 million and sell off, a certain percentage of the shares, and
they
boom,
carry on.
and they carry on. And you affiliates never see this kind of an opportunity. You never see this. What you see is a pretty website where someone's saying, we're going to make a lot of money and we're going to pay you in 30 days, and in 40 days you'll be, making $10,000 a month, blah, 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 blah. 6 months after that, or 12 months after that, the initial people that got involved, they made money, and then the people that came in after, which is their friends and family, who decided to put 20, 29,000, 33,000 into that, it's gone.
I didn't know that on the sales side, okay, the dynamics and what was going on in this industry, okay?
Right.
And only recently I'm figuring out. And how am I figuring out? By going to exhibitions, seeing some thousands of Indian communities going and blasting their heads off, and I'm trying to understand what they're actually selling, right? I'm trying to understand what they're selling. Then I'm meeting people that have the most phenomenal looking products, and then 2 days later, when I asked the right questions, I actually realized that it's like a very pretty makeup, right? So I appreciate that people have been bitten,
Wow.
but at the same time, I have the comfort, okay? I have the comfort, and that's why I was saying to Ray and Micah, you know, do you realize that nobody is doing what we're doing? Mm-hmm. Do you realize that we're selling reality? We're actually not even expressing enough what we're selling. We're not, because it's so complicated, because it's so much, okay? It's so much, it's very complicated to explain what we've actually built. If I only knew that this was what's going on,
Yeah.
right? You know, these Indian, you know, sheikhs and all that. If I only knew this, I wouldn't have sold these NFTs at this price. Every minute I experience, I see how much more value we've been putting into it, and I'm proud of that, right? So,
yeah, we're learning your world in a sense, and you're learning this world through actually what we're doing. All right, so so then, yeah, we get here. So that was like I think that was last month, 9 months.
yeah.
So then we're looking at that and we're going, okay, so there's some things still remaining to be accomplished. Then the day that we open Spain is the day that we start taking customers, which is when we start making sales. So can you describe sort of a plan of action for when we open Spain, we open UK, of course we got Germany and France and all of these.
Okay, so we're opening. Okay, so let's start from Germany because that's the.
Yeah.
So
that was
we're
the
in
first one. Yeah.
So I'll give an explanation of all of them. So we said, you know, we'll open with the store, and you know the experiences we had with Germany. Blah
that was
blah
the
blah.
model. Open the country.
So next week they're going to finish the build works. Then they've got a week of cleaners, and you know, even the finished shops that we've seen takes them days to. Mm-hmm. So we're looking to go live in Germany in 15 to 20 days. That doesn't mean opening Berlin. That means opening Berlin. That means opening online. Mm-hmm. Okay, and that means we won't be able to start the sales. We're looking to start the rollout in 1 month's time, and that includes not only the Vodafone stores, but any other customers that we find on the field. Right. So we're currently in the process of building the teams to go out there, physically go out there. Okay.
So my impression with the Vodafone stores that there is a certain timeline for accomplishing being able to open. It's 4,000 stores, so there's a lot to do.
Put it this way, even the order, the investment that we're making for 4,000 terminals and the customs. Mm-hmm. Put it this way. I think this is very important to understand Miracle's attitude as well. Right? What I'm going to say. So, we've built, okay, the world's most expensive retail shop in Berlin. It's going to be our flagship site, whatever. Look, as you said, $1 million.
Yeah.
The shop has cost $1 million, right? So, the actual investment on the online, the fact that we're going to the expense of investing into 4,000 terminals, you know, for me, if I was in, you know, an investor's shoes,
Yeah.
I'll think, okay, they must be believing in what they're doing. Or why are they going to be, why are they going to be investing more than they've received?
Right.
There's no sense, right?
So Miracle received 1.4 million basically from the master franchise holder. Now Miracle is putting more money into Germany than the franchises, but the franchise is getting more commission out of Germany than Miracle is.
Correct. Yeah. So Köln, we finished the furniture. Is actually the furniture has either arrived or about to arrive in Germany. That's going in. But in 15 to 20 days, we're opening Germany with online in Berlin. And in a month's time, we're going to be starting rolling out to Vodafone. Fully licensed. In Spain, I think in Spain we did something fantastic by acquiring Abu Bamboo. I think that's been again, that's another example. You know, Miracle sold the MFA, okay? But then an opportunity came with a much bigger covered license and two bank accounts. And two bank accounts that allow you to have billions of volumes, okay? Miracle didn't go back and say to the NFT holders, hey, you know, we have an opportunity here, but you need to do this for this to happen.
We need to expand the NFTs. We have to print
We didn't
more.
do that.
No.
All Miracle, because the whole motivation for Miracle is to grow Miracle. Yeah. There is no motivation of, you know, how much do I make on the MFA fee? We paid a big chunk of money for the acquisition of Abu Bamboo, okay? And that big chunk is actually nearly the fee of the MFA itself, right? Never mind the store in Madrid and the Barcelona lease, never mind the online investment. So it's another...
And the advertisement.
That aside, okay? So we're going to be in the position in Spain, so it will be after Germany.
So can you tell me, like, so when we open Germany, what is the plan besides that we open Vodafone stores? Because is there TV commercials? Because we've been marketing here in Cyprus, and I see billboards all over the island. There's radio ads and everything. That's resulting in people signing up for Miracle's exchange. Yeah. So there's a few thousand, right? Yeah. People that have signed up.
And using.
Yeah. So they're trading on the sites. They're
trading on the platform.
They're
going to the stores.
Going to the stores. So now take that then over to Germany. So you say it's going to open in a week and a half or whatever. So then day one, the store opens.
We will start marketing in that sense.
Yeah.
We will start marketing, let's say, in 2 months.
2 months start marketing. So first the stores open. The site's obviously available, so people can go to the site.
The site is open, but you're not going to see a lot of traffic before you actually do the marketing.
Right.
Okay, who knows?
So why you're waiting 2 months for the marketing? Just to...
Because I want us to start getting out those terminals as well. Because in 1 month we're going to start the terminals out, create some penetration, and maybe in the marketing we're actually going to use that as a tool. We're in these stores as well.
And that's the Vodafone terminals?
Yeah.
Okay, so then you're focusing on getting that footprint of stores out in the marketplace, then run commercials and say, hey, we're in these locations or something like that. Or
maybe not only the commercial is not only we're in those locations, but it's one bit of the commercial.
Right.
Yeah.
How do you see the timeline on these profits in a sense of Miracle installments
what is a profit?
It's the money that's left over after expenses.
No, I know. But when you relate to when you relate to a profit,
did I get an A on that paper?
When you relate to a profit, if you're talking about, okay, so let's say we start Germany 1 month, then that's plus 3 months, yeah? Dividend, okay?
Plus 3 months what?
Dividend,
Dividend.
yeah? So at that point, yeah, if you're talking about thousands of dollars, okay, thousands of dollars, in reality, the first payout is going to be hundreds.
Because you got 1,000 NFTs, so you're saying maybe hundreds per?
Yes,
Yeah, no,
per. We're talking about per.
Yeah.
However, in that time, don't forget that you've rolled out to the stores.
Yeah.
And you rolled out to maybe more stores.
Right.
So the second one, you're in thousands.
Already.
That's where we're at.
Yeah.
That's the same in Spain. That's the same in Holland with Benelux. With Benelux, by the way, with Benelux, it will be the same speed because we've started the construction in Den Haag as well. Second store. We've actually got the 1,500 sites waiting for us.
Right.
Where so Germany, what I just gave the update of Germany rollout is the same with Holland, right?
So we may be operational in all 4,000 locations inside of what? How many months?
6 months.
6 months. So that's for the terminal, that's for the Miracle installments, and that's for the trading desk where people can walk
And
in.
also, not all, but subject to their position, ATMs.
Okay. So why would you have an ATM and a trading desk?
Because it's different.
Are they?
It's different in the sense that, you know, you've got this store, like a mega store, okay? And if it's a small store where, you know, you've got the footfall, okay? It's like, think of the airport. Why do you have an Emirates desk and you have an Emirates kiosk there? Why? Because it's a busy airport,
Right.
and it's a busy site. So if we've got, like, let's say, out of that 4,000, we've got 50 mega stores. We want to have an ATM in the mega store because it's so busy. They're not going to really be pushing on the counter. But on a small shop, it's the merchant that's going to be pushing the product anyway.
Right, right.
That sort of thing.
Okay. Okay. And there was something else I was going to ask you about. Go ahead if you had.
So with Madrid, the only difference here is going to be where this is 1 month. This will start like in 45 days. The remaining is the same,
Right.
right?
So
Now the good thing with Germany, Holland, Spain is we've got already customer base.
right.
We're going in with a number. We're going to be building on. So where we haven't started yet, we've actually started. By signing the deal with 4,000, by signing a 1,500 deal, we've actually started business in those countries.
Right. Oh, this is what I was going to say, is that what people may not realize is as these things happen, they're really owners. The company that they own is increasing in value because I think people are so focused on when do I start getting paid? When do I start getting paid? We get that. Granted, absolutely, that's why you bought the NFT to get paid. But also realize while all these things are happening, the company you own, I'm saying this loosely, it's not a real ownership, but you do have a right to something here, is increasing in value every day.
I'm going to ask you a simple question, which actually supports what you just said. You decided to buy a house in North Cyprus, right?
Yep.
How long did it take you to get the keys of your house from the day you purchased your house?
It was like a year.
So
A year.
purchase day
Yeah,
and key. How long?
a year.
1 year. Okay. Return of investment. Okay. So you paid, hypothetically, 100K. If you wasn't to stay in your house and rent it, So you've already waited for 1 year, right? What is your return of investment timeline? I'll tell you what it is. 12 years, right? And that's a good investment, by the way. So that's in total, that's 13 years. What's the collateral? Hear me out. Your collateral is your property. But you only got hold of your collateral at the end of the year. Until that house was finished, you didn't have any collateral. All you had was a piece of paper, right? What are we actually doing? We are building a DCF. We are giving people with the DCF the collateral day one. They are receiving their collateral on day one, not 12 months down the line. Their return of investment, so this is day one, right? This is what we're doing. So any new buyers, let's say Italy, Benelux, it's day one collateral. So they don't have this timeline, and their return of investment, what are we talking about? Like 7 to 9 months, and then, you know, if you relate it to real life, the difference of the investment is so big. It's not even you can't even compare it with anything.
True.
That's the way to look at it, maybe.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's we have so many different stories of our affiliates, and so there's different expectations. But I think all of this boils down to education, to be familiar with what it is that we are and the nature of what we are, to better be, you know, because I understand, you know, that people can go through stress, they can go through some belief challenges in us, right?
And then,
because they don't know and understand what we are fully, in a sense of that. So that's what
another thing. Yeah, I totally agree. And even I think Melanie's a very good example. She's actually sitting there at the moment, right?
Come up.
Okay, I think she's a very good example.
I heard she's unstoppable.
So no,
stay up?
but really, because I noticed this yesterday, and I actually said it to Melanie this morning, right? So she's in the company, like she's in the company. Yeah. She's part of the team, okay, and that's why I appreciate the NFT holders sometimes stress, worries. I appreciate that because somebody from the team arrives. She actually experienced 2 days of workshop and work, and she was like, wow, right?
Oh my God.
Yeah, it really is.
And the
Yeah.
I mean, because she's one that gets a lot of pressure, maybe, yeah? Her confidence went through the roof. It only took her to be in one of the meetings to actually touch it. That's the big issue. The issue is not the delays. Delay is an issue, but the real issue, I think, is the problem of complexity of what it is and being able to touch it, right? Touching it. Yeah. The minute she touched it and she saw it in the field and understood what's really going on, I mean, she can speak for herself. But am I right in my
You're so right, because truly, when we look at this, and I'll be taking a photo of this, and I'm going to have everybody guess what in the world we talked about today. Because truly, this is like mind-blowing. We don't understand, and at the end of the day, we don't need to understand because you understand it. We are investors in something that's just so incredibly that hasn't been done yet. How can we possibly understand this? And I loved your example of the house, because I think people need to understand that we're not here for that $250. I've said this before, that $250 affiliate commission, you know, or even maybe those first few $100 in payouts. I'm here for the buyout. I'm here for the buyout. Yeah. So if it's going to take me, and this is just me personally speaking, but if it's going to take me 4 years to see a return on my investment, Well, even that's mind blowing. And that, what, 1,000x? Like how,
to kind of get rich in a sense.
Exactly. I will be patient. I will be patient. And all I want to do is be a sponge. I posted a picture yesterday and I said, I'm in the room where it happens. You know, a little Hamilton quote. And I took a picture of us in the boardroom and I'm like, I'm here and I'm absorbing it. And I'm not going to get it day one. I'm not going to get it day two. I've been here since November, not here physically, but with this company. I'm here to just pick up the seeds that you're planting. I'm here to just listen to key words. And then I go and Google it. And then that's how I understand it. Or I ask questions. I just want to be a sponge to learn and absorb, not somebody that's going to come in and go, well, where's this and where's this and why don't I have this and why don't I have this? And again, I'm just speaking, you know, about me personally, because those are the questions that myself, Yordi, Raquel, you know, Ray and Mike are constantly asked. Allow us to just kind of do our job, be here, let's get things done. Maybe ask, how can I contribute? How can I help support? What can I do to lead? How can I bring other people in? What am I missing to be able to help sell? You know, and that's why we're here, and that's why we're recording
And we're
over and
obviously
over again.
speaking into that, you know, we want to address and get people to a place of being, you know, raising their confidence in us.
Exactly.
That's our whole goal. When we do the updates, it's about informing everyone so that the confidence is there for us, because there's really actually no reason why our field shouldn't be 100% confident. Based on what we're actually doing. It is the misunderstanding of what this is that would have people maybe not be confident about us. Because we are better than anything that's ever been introduced into this industry.
And
Ever.
the other thing I want to really just reiterate that you pointed out was when we talk about the timelines. And I love that because our community wants to know timelines. They want to have an idea of what to expect, yet please don't hold us to it, because you mentioned in this presentation today, we've added like 2 new companies in the last 30, 60, 90 days. 3.
I think today people realized a company we haven't even really presented, which is the Miracle Token.
Yeah. Right. And so please keep that in mind, that when we say, okay, we're going to do this maybe at first quarter, second quarter, third quarter,
another goal.
We still have a goal, but we just took on more assets.
Exactly.
And that takes our time to, work
And it's
through.
an opportunity, Mary.
It's incredible.
You find these it's a window of opportunity. If you don't step in,
You miss it.
you miss it. But if you step in and you don't miss it, you're missing something else.
Right.
But you put the two,
Yeah.
and you know that this one is the one that you should have
You're
missed.
protecting us and giving us more opportunities with these assets that people don't even understand.
Right.
And that is what is really incredible about
if
being
we instead of like worked for the best of the company and worked for a timeline, then we would be we'd be selling our affiliates short.
Yes,
That's
missed
the reality.
opportunities.
And we're not downplaying the importance of meeting deadlines or starting to pay the affiliates, but we are emphasizing that the timeline that we're on is the best timeline for the best outcome for this project,
For
which
today.
means that everybody
today.
makes more money.
Yeah. And that's
They get
tomorrow,
more profit.
something new comes in, and it's like, oh, wait, we want to take advantage of that opportunity. That might push us back another week.
And put
It's
it
good
this
stuff.
way, we've been discussing this week, right?
Yeah.
And we said we've got so much delivery channels and so much products that we've got to the stage that each product and or delivery channel is a business in itself.
Yeah.
So, hey, how do we now turn these into mega P&Ls? Each and every one. We're actually in the process.
Profit and
We're talking about recruiting the best. We cannot, we've got to the level that we can't work with somebody very good.
Right.
Somebody's got to be the best to join the team from now on. Right?
And now we have that.
That is very important for a
Well,
company.
because we're doing that
for
with
a company,
the face.
Yeah, but not only that,
Yeah.
it's very important in understanding the leadership and the driving and the momentum the company is. If you've got to the mindset, okay, if you've got to the mindset and the confidence
Yeah.
that you can only work with the Champions League from now on, that is actually, you can't pretend it, right? You can't pretend it because you can't pay for it
Yeah.
if you pretend it. You have to have the confidence in the product, the drive, the financial strength, all that to get to the stage to say, now, Micah, now we need general managers for each and every product.
Exactly.
And Micah, we can't work with the first division anymore. Let's find Champions League. To get to that position, actually, if you want to read, it depends. There's a Turkish saying, right? It depends. If you want to look at the glass from the empty side or the full side, right?
Yeah.
If you try to look from the full side of the glass, that itself sends a lot of messages in it. You with me?
And also, obviously, by completing this infrastructure, like you said, we can put something in and get it going in a couple of days with what we have. That obviously helped us to get approved for $50 million,
Exactly.
which then helps us to bring in those A players to run each one of these companies. Each one is a company. We're
Great.
looking for someone to run the company of Miracle Token.
Yeah.
We're looking for someone to run the company of Miracle Installments, virtual Miracle Pay Online. I mean, that's.
It's kind of like what you said in Dubai. We could
Ray is here, by the way. He's been sitting quietly in the background.
It's kind of like what you said in Dubai. We could literally have 10 booths.
Oh yeah, we could fill the actually.
Yeah.
We could be the
We
expo.
could be the
Yeah, we
expo.
could be the expo.
We could be the expo.
Because we have so many different
Yeah.
companies, so many different products, so many different services. We'd have a booth on every one.
I never told you this, right? And this is where I did. The reason I didn't go for an angel investment or a private equity, okay, because I know the animal they are, right? And there has been, because I've been on the other side of the table, right? When I was working with Riba, I've been on the other side of the table. And I know that a lot of super projects have failed because of the pressure and the KPIs and the challenges that the private equity or the angel investor puts on you. And to meet those, you make so many stupid sacrifices that you lose the company, right? And I've seen this many times. So I say, I'm never going to do this. I've actually been on the other side. I've maybe made companies fail because of this, right?
Possibly.
Yeah, possibly. I know how it is. Again, another example. This company that I talked about, this e-commerce site that we bought that was bankrupt.
Yeah.
That's why they've been bankrupt. They had $20 million or $50 million, I can't remember, the investment from private equity. The company distress buried them. We turned the company into profit, right?
Easily.
So, what I'm trying to say is that the fact that, we didn't go down that angel investment route.
Thank you for not doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for not doing that.
Yeah. Not doing that is also gives the company the flexibility. So if we were under private equity, what would happen? We've been discussing about this months.
Yeah.
We would have missed those opportunities because we would have had to hit that month, right? And we would have dropped that opportunity. This is the what would have happened because your number one goal is what's written in the shareholders agreement. What am I obliged to do? Because if I don't do
have
it,
to do it
they
like
will
this.
beat me.
We might have missed the Vodafone opportunity.
Oh yeah.
Because they will beat you. This is the strength. And we need to understand that this is a big strength for the company. The fact the company has gone into a totally different investment model is because of this, is to have this flexibility.
And that actually plays into what we're talking about with the HSBC situation, that they're saying that the tokenizing industry and the value of the traditional markets is 867 trillion. And we're seeing how beneficial it is for us to tokenize our company because of what you're talking about, the freedom you have to operate, and be flexible with everything that's coming. That's the beauty
So,
of it.
so,
right?
so what? As a team of investors, we need to, take off that private equity angel investment attitude hat, and we need to, because we're entrepreneurs,
Yeah.
and we're good entrepreneurs. We know our stuff. We know what we're doing. We understand technology. If somebody comes for us to do a deal, okay, he will ask the right questions. If it's not his field, I will ask the right questions. Nobody can trip us off. We will understand what we need to get out of a deal. We've got that.
And we said, because we have been touching about all this stuff, what came to mind was we've had people in the office not understanding what we're doing, who we are. They left, and Melanie came here. How on earth did they leave? I said, well, I'm telling you, like, you can be here, and this is stuff. These are layers to this onion, right? That you are. You're that walking onion, and that we've been peeling to get to the core of everything, to understand who we are, because you have decades of experience in finance and business, to where we're not. Oh, okay, I get our value. I get it, and we're in the office, and we've had people in the office who are not here anymore, who would become multi-millionaires had they lasted. Unfortunately, they didn't get it and they left. Unfortunately. So that's what I'm saying. I'm just saying that all this that we're doing today and trying to get the affiliates to where we are, because with affiliates supporting the project, it's much better. When they're not afraid of the project, when they feel comfortable sharing it with friends and family, we all do better. When affiliates are comfortable, they will come, for instance, to Miami and get another layer of what this is, because we're going to spend a weekend really, really giving people what this is, which would, make everybody more successful, right?
Absolutely. I mean, Miami, it's almost like it's a combine between like a shareholders meeting, if you will, and to level your game up, to level your life up. It's a combination of two. It'll be unlike something you've ever experienced before. We're going to be, doing some announcements over the next 24 hours, not now.
So
or
when
the next
Mark
24
is
hours.
doing his thing in between, Hakan will be there, giving a lecture on maybe because we have a product coming where one sale could make someone millions of dollars. One sale.
They can retire.
Right? So we're going to teach on that stuff, what that's all about. Because if you think about it, probably at some point there will be an opportunity as an affiliate to bring in a Vodafone deal like that. That Vodafone deal could be 200-300 million a year. Imagine a percentage of that, right? So Miami is all about the bigger picture. It's all about really capitalizing on what we're doing. But as an affiliate and a team member here, being there is about that we are all together in on this. This is a one big family, and if you're an NFT holder, to be in Miami is about the community strength all together.
And we want everyone who's ever gotten an NFT or who is in the system and maybe hasn't gotten an NFT there in Miami, Florida, because if they just go, they're going to see the big picture of this. There's no way they're not going to get our NFT and come about this company and this community.
And one thing that surprised us was we didn't know after we get the big loans, we got 50, then there's a 250 maybe around the corner. And we didn't know where you were, how you felt about continuing to expand this community. So we were pleasantly surprised
And
when
to
you
be
said
honest,
that
I
you
was
felt
nervous. I went to him, I go, when we get the big loan.
That's why you keep on asking me the same question.
I go,
I thought, why is he asking me the same question?
I said to him, I go, God, we get an influx of, 50 million or 200 million. I go,
what happens?
What happens? Will Hakan want to continue growing the community because we have so much money?
What's
I
your
was
view on
nervous.
that? Just
What
so
is
we,
your view
we
on
can.
that?
That day you told us, I went to bed going, oh my
Yeah.
God, this is
You
awesome.
keep
This
it.
is great.
So-
we may switch phones here in a moment. If it pauses, don't panic.
So-
it's just low on
so-
battery, and we'll keep going.
So on that, okay,
We're going to be wrapping it up
obviously,
with this.
we've been talking about that there's going to be, especially with the DCF, there's going to be a big change on prices. And we've
Right.
said this.
Yes.
So bear that in mind, yeah? But as long as it's based on DCF, it actually protects Miracle as well, right? Because if the pricing is coming with, obviously, with an opportunity, but based on DCF, then it's sort of protecting both sides, yeah? So it's not a 1,500 to a, right?
To 0.1%
Yeah.
for $1,500.
So as long as it's based on DCF and the new pricing model is that, then it makes sense to carry on. Also, I am, and we've discussed this, we are considering to produce some different type of NFTs
Yeah.
that actually feed into maybe not country MFA, but a product, and maybe into a pool, a fund,
Right.
where it's used for miracle installments. So there will definitely be a price change. There may be, or there will be, changing of the asset of the NFT, okay? But it will carry on. Yeah, that's what we discussed, right?
Yeah. Very good. Okay, and so yeah, I mean, we didn't touch much on DCF today, but that's coming. I think the professor is coming on Monday.
We have a
All day meeting. on
Yeah.
Monday.
Yumi and the professor will have biscuits
Yeah.
and lots of tea.
And then we discussed making it very simple for people to actually be able to acquire those loans, where they don't have to actually go to, a bank to do it. They can kind of do it through us, in a sense. We discussed that as well, working on those systems. So
Yeah, because it's going to be much more complicated to get them to go to the bank. So we've got to bridge that process.
internally, so they
We will bridge it here.
yeah, they'll click on the
It will
website.
be on Boogie G.
It's like click on the website, and the money goes wired right into the bank account, essentially, right?
That's the process.
Right. So,
So
I mean, if this
so
is not
how long did
perfection,
it take? So you buy the house here, you get the keys here. You will not be able to use that collateral before the end of 12 months, right?
yeah,
Plus, that's if you can provide the financial institution that you have additional, I don't know, salary,
Yeah,
this,
to pay.
that, to pay it.
pay
The
the
fact that you've just got the collateral will not be enough for you to get the loan, right?
right,
However, on this model, you have the collateral day one.
right.
So
And you can show how you can pay that loan as well through the disbursements.
because of the revenue that's going to be generated
Right.
from the NFT.
Right. Okay, so I think that gives a little bit more insight into what
Yeah,
we're
as I
doing
said at
here.
the beginning, I'm sure.
This is
I'm
daily. These boards are
Yeah,
daily.
I'm sure that we've missed on this call like 90%
Yeah,
more that we've already done
yeah.
because it's just so much.
Just so much.
But
you can't fit it all
it
in.
just gives a flavor of everything that we've built,
Yeah.
building, the whole vision, and where we really want to bring it is this. We want the 25 multiplier.
Right.
Our whole model, your valuation of the NFTs, don't forget, is based on a 10 multiplier. That's where we've valued the forecast. But the real vision and the real target is to get to a 25 multiplier. That's the jackpot. That's where we're heading.
All right, what did you guys think? Let me hear down below in the comments section. What do you think of this company? Can they pull this off? Well, they are pulling it off. You did hear stores are opening. You did hear that another store is opening in Amsterdam is one store. Now they're going to open a second store. And that means it's in the Benelux territory. Belgium, Luxembourg, Netherlands. So 2 stores are going to be in Netherlands. Another store is going to be opened up in Germany. Another store should be coming in the UK. Several stores, ladies and gentlemen. You heard. Let me know what you think down below. And with all that said, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. And I know it's hard out here. This is why we concentrate heavily the last couple of years on getting assets or finding a way to get passive income into your hands. Because you're not going to be able to work 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 hours, 90 hours, 100 hours a week to offset the cost of living increases. So now's the time, while the market is down a little bit across the board. Whether it's stocks, it's down. Whether it's real estate, it's down. It doesn't matter. The normal asset classes are down, but we have countermeasures, such as dividend stocks, in order for you to get an information. How about MVO? I'll give you some before we end this. M as in Mary, V as in Victor, O as in Oscar. How about ORC? That's right. How about AGNC? That's A as in Apple, G as in George, N as in Nancy, C as in Charles. And this is why you always should have a pen, pad, and paper handy. And with all that said, keep your head up, keep moving, and I'm out.